Hey, welcome back to Black City Coffee. I'm answering your questions again. We are preheating the machine right now, so we're going to preheat the machine for a good 20 minutes, so it gives me time to answer your questions. Oh, and today I'm roasting Ethiopia for a customer on Etsy. Here's the question from Leozi. With you upgrading your roasters within a year, do you have 2020 goals for pounds roasted or sales with the new 1 kilogram? And then you went on to say that you weren't asking for specifics. And then you said, in one of your vids, I know you mentioned that you sort of had to justify this all to your husband. And that is the exact situation I'm with my wife. Just curious if you had to sell, how you're going to make back that investment. Any help with that train of thought would be incredible. Okay, cool, thanks. I think it's, you weren't asking for specifics, and I really wanted to make a video on it because it did cause a lot of actually turmoil and disruption in our marriage because it kind of uncovered some toxic patterns that we had as a couple when dealing with large purchases. And in our particular case, okay, which I think is good to kind of talk about, not to place blame or make anyone feel bad or look bad. Whenever my husband would buy me something, it would kind of be attached with strings. Hey, let's take this roaster for example. If we didn't have the discussion and really talk about some of our issues, be like, hey, I bought you that roaster, how come you're not roasting every week on the dot? For him, he needs to justify a certain amount of work or even expression, like me even being enthusiastic about it for him to justify it. But I was like, first of all, it's not just you buying me this roaster. It's us. We work together in our business. We both generate income. We both contribute to the business equally, so we both earn an income. And with that being said, we're getting this for us. I will be the roaster, yes, and I will handle that front, but I'll still need your help, marketing, which he does. He masters that, with all the Etsy stuff, setting price points, what to market, what to bring attention to, how to, whatever. I'm just if we get this roaster, I'm just going to focus on roasting. It'll be the same way that, for example, for him, you were a photographer and you handled that. You were all about that, and I didn't step or interfere or anything like that. You were the photographer, you're the artist. So in this case, I am the roaster. Respect that, give me that. I'm placing the boundary right here. I'm gonna work and learn and do all my little, milestones that I need to do to become a better roaster, because my goal is to become a master roaster. And just really fleshing out why you have a problem spending anything, any amount of money on something for you, right? I think it kind of brought up a lot of deep-seated psychological patterns that we have in terms of spending, in terms of communicating with each other when it becomes this sort of big-ticket item and justifying things. I got cut off. So to me, it goes down to building clarity, drawing out the boundaries with each other in terms of this very expensive hobby that you're going to have, right? Because it'd still be a hobby. Yes, we do sell coffee, but it's not something that's on the forefront of our minds. So to get more succinct about my thoughts, how can you justify a large ticket item of any hobby to your spouse? I think one is to set the expectation. One, you got to really know what you want. What are you getting it for? And then, does that reason pass for you? If it doesn't sit well with you, or if you really believe in it, or if this is really something that you want to pursue and you feel it's worth it, then yes, then maybe you've got to learn how to pitch or frame the idea of this new hobby to your spouse so that you can be on the same page together. And it took us a while to figure out what the language was between the two of us to do that, to justify or to make things worth it. And what we landed on specifically was we want coffee to become something profitable in the future. At the same time, in order for us to reach that, you have to, me talking to my husband, you have to allow me to experiment, take my own time to learn, set my own goals, my own milestones, and let me pilot that ship myself. Because we have another job, and I'm not 100% running that job without me there, right? So if I still have to be there in this other job, I cannot 100% be committed to coffee. And so we have to go at a pace that suits our life right now. And you have to be okay with that. But you have to be willing to invest in a machine like this that's, what, $8,000 almost? It comes to about $8,000 in the beginning. And you have to trust and invest in me to actually learn it well enough to sell. And I have to be the one to okay the sell, because I'm not going to sell shitty coffee, right? So I'm sure sometimes I've probably sold shitty coffee, but that's all subjective. Just cool this down a little bit. And finally, is just to be on the same page, which is, let me do my thing, all right? If we're agreeing to this purchase, let's also agree not to bring it up or blame each other if things don't work out, right? If we don't become profitable with coffee, and I said that to him, I was like, there's always a chance with any business venture that it won't work out. That's the risk. And you're investing time and energy and money into something that may not work out, and you have to be okay with that, and that's the rule of any investing. You have to be okay with the risk. There's risk involved, and if you're not willing, or if you can't afford for something to not work out, then that's not the best idea. It happens all the time, though, I'm sure, where people are like, dude, I got all my eggs in this one basket, so it has to work. It's like, well, we don't really like to live that way. So we like to have security. So for us, in our example, that's our thinking. That's what we came to, and that's what makes buying coffee randomly, or finding little ways to make packaging better, or spending on labels, or spending on, just spending any time with roasting. As a roaster, for you to lay that out to your wife or to your spouse and be like, this is what it's going to be. But if they see that it's something that you're passionate about, that you really care about it, I think somebody who loves you will want you to experience that, will want you to be a part of that world of being able to discover doing something that you love, And if you're like me, who didn't really know, just always kind of bouncing around and not really putting any, not really finding their place. Like, some people really know what they want to do, or they're like, I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm going to be a master at this, or I'm, like my husband, I'm going to be a photographer, and they find it really early. But I didn't find roasting until, in my 30s. This year when I'm 33, I just turned 33. So that's kind of not late. It's not necessarily late, but I mean, you only have one life to live. So if this is what you want to do, if this is something that you want to experience in your life, and who could tell the future, like if it doesn't work out, if it's not profitable, then so be it. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with it not becoming profitable. But you also can't just sit by and just be like, well, if nobody buys my coffee, or if nobody likes what I do, then, whatever. I would always, be trying to do your best, showing up every day, trying to be better, and that's will come naturally if you're passionate. And that's your justification right there, is that you want to do it. You want to do it. You want this experience to be a part of your life, and if you really wanted it and you didn't do it, that's your fault. That's your fault for not speaking up. It's not something that you have to, I don't like this word justified, but I guess it's true. But it's just you standing up for what you want to do in your life, And even when you get married, it's not their way or the highway all the time. It should be an equal fitting, an equal road. There should be room for the both of you in your lives together.
I didn't figure that out till later too. So speak up, and it's not you like being mean or being spiteful or saying I don't care about you, I just want to care about me. No, it's just like, no, I'm here too. I'm here in this relationship. This is what I want to do. I really feel that I want to get this roaster because I want to experience this, and this. And it really makes me happy. It brings me joy, to roast coffee and to be in this world. And it'd be cool if you could understand that, like, I don't know. So yeah, that's my longest answer to your to your question, but I felt it was necessary because it did, like in my case, without having that conversation, without thinking about what you're thinking about right now, I would have thought that it's impossible. So the fact that I'm here and I'm roasting and it's a beautiful day and I'm answering your question now and maybe inspiring you to go, yeah, I could be a coffee roaster. Like, I think that's powerful. So that's why I want to take the time to answer this question, because I feel like there's so many times where people will go, oh shit, that's what I want to do, and they don't do it because they're afraid of how their spouse or whoever is going to take it. And if they like a smidge don't agree or don't see where you're coming from because you didn't try or you didn't try to share with them, or you didn't have the language or the tools or the time or whatever to show them how much joy this brings you, you're just always going to feel kind of like short-handed, and that you're not getting what you want in life. And that's your life, you should fight for what you want in your life. Standing up for it, like giving voice to what you want to do. Okay, I can talk about this for ages because I'm so passionate about how I got here. It was just, to me, it's so crazy. It's so, not crazy, but just like, it's very, I just find myself going, dude, this is dope. It's so dope, and I'm like, dude, I want to share it. I do want to share this with everybody, 406. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I just hit preheat temperature. Y'all know I could talk about this forever, but that's my question to your answer, or that's my answer to your question. All right, I'm going to go. Peace out. Bye.